Hello again to all my viewers. My name is Wachisa Sikwese, and on behalf of Assumption University, I will be trying to define to you what moral imagination is. What is moral imagination, you might ask? Well, according to Mark Johnson, moral imagination is the ability for individuals to imagine multiple or different scenarios in order to solve an ethical challenge. What kind of ethical challenge, might you ask? Well, for anything to happen morally, like any act of morality to occur, sympathy has to lead the way. Now, through moral imagination, you have to think outside the box. You have to think anything is possible as long as not only you apply it, but everybody as a society accepts as well as applies it. So, obviously, while you're thinking out of the box, you have to have creativity. Creativity is in everybody. You have never met anybody uncreative. And second of all, is moral courage. Moral courage is what everybody needs in order to act upon our individual ideas of morality. Without the moral courage, we have the idea but cannot act on it. As well as most people who think that everybody who is successful today either got successful at some point with doing something immoral or unmoral. Because that's the kind of social climate that we have created for ourselves. We think a corporation and or an individual cannot succeed without doing anything immoral. That is not true, because I know better ways in which to do things morally and be successful, no matter in which category or field you feel more comfortable with or work better in. First of all, you just need to put hard work in it and be first. If you can be first, think smarter. If those two alternatives don't work, then maybe you could cheat, which I don't recommend. But because of moral imagination, we can create a society and change the social climate in which we live in and say, that's not how it should be. That's not the way. Think of it this way. If all corporations thought unethically and took capital advantage of every market in which they were selling goods and products, none of us would actually be around anymore to say we have money to pay for this, because everything is weighed according to labor and capital, and that's how it is. To be ethical, the cost of something sold to you or the cost of a service is all because of quantity or quality involved in the good being produced. Third of all, you can still have a fine paying job and be ethical enough. What this tells us is, with moral imagination, every time you come across an ethical challenge, the first thing that you think of is, how many possibilities or outcomes are there in order for me to come up with the best solution for this? What is the least harmful way for both me and whoever else is involved in your business deal or business venture? I heard an example earlier today where it said that Nestle was advertising new products of candy, but they couldn't advertise on kids channels because that would be morally unethical, advertising for children to eat so much sugar. So instead, they created new brands of candy bars which had less sugar, more protein and more carbohydrates and more cereal. They made them into cereal energy bars, and that is how ethically everybody could evolve. Because if everybody in society can receive that concept of ethical imagination, most people would not have to do things out of their way in order to be successful. With that being said, thank you so much for your attention. My name once again is Wachisa Sikwese, and for more information, please click on the link below, and have a pleasant day. Goodbye.